Okay, this is just an instant reaction to the Paris UFC fight card with Ruffy vs BSD and Bahario vs Imavov. We might see a part 2 of this if Prates doesn't crack the top 5 again against Leon Edwards and if Silva loses against Diego. Also, it was like 4 AM when the main card started and I went to sleep at like 2 AM, so don't think this is the most coherent video out there. I'm just trying to get daily uploads going on. So let's start off with the co-main. Ruffy got dominated. Badly. If Ruffy was going to lose, I knew it would be from the ground game. But I would have thought a loss by decision because, you know, it's a 3-round fight and Ruffy might not get his rhythm going in terms of striking and he just loses because BSD could just be holding him down throughout the whole fight and he's at home advantage, so they could give him the decision win. But apparently not. So he ended up defending just like 1 takedown or something. I know the stats say something different obviously, but I personally feel like if you just look at the stats, you don't get a good narrative on what happened in the fight. So Ruffy did get some advantages in the ground game, but he decided to stand up. The commentators did say he should have rained some elbows or some ground and pound or something while in full guard before the stand up, to at least scare BSD a bit. But if Ruffy himself decided to stand up twice, I'm just going to assume he is super not confident in his ground game skills at all. Because every time he got out of the ground game, it looked like he was 5 rounds deep into a fight. Bro was exhausted and just wanted to KO BSD, which is the worst mentality in a fight. I see him just trying to throw that uppercut KO. I see him try to do that flying knee KO. He really needed the knockout because he was really tired. Even though I know nothing about the ground game, I can tell that Ruffy's ground game was super inefficient, and how he got out of things and how he transitioned must have spent a lot of stamina. So yeah, the main picture of my reaction is I am so sad for Ruffy. He didn't even crack the top 15 of the lightweight division. I did a whole Fighting Nerds video explaining every single fight that they did, and I knew Ruffy wasn't going to be lightweight champion throughout his whole win streak. I knew he was going to lose, but I thought he would at least crack the top 10 and then get submitted by someone. But I didn't think he would lose to BSD like that. And not only that, in super dominating fashion, it really looked like Ruffy might lose his next fight as well, depending who he's going to fight, because that ground game looked atrocious. And now we reach the main event, Bahario vs Imavov. Nasruddin Imavov. Very good fight. People said it was boring. Maybe I've only seen it once, which was my first viewing. I didn't replay it at all, but a lot of people on Twitter saying it was boring. And those tweets came out during and after the fight. So they've only seen it once as well. So, but there's no ground game like the Chimaev fight. So Twitter is just weird. I don't know what they want. And the strikes in this fight were hitting as well. It's just that these two are very young contenders and they have very strong chins. So let's break down Imavov. He was fucking fast. Like fast as fuck. Like before the fight even happened, when Bruce Buffer was introducing him, he already did like a he did like a step forward and back. I thought my stream fucking lagged. I thought it skipped time or something. I didn't realize Imavov was that fast. Dare I say that this Imavov that night could be trouble for Chimaev. But anyway, Imavov's lead teep and hook combinations when Carl was closing the distance with a feint was perfection. That was pitch perfect. He did it every time and it worked every time, but Bahario has such a crazy chin. So round 1 was pretty even, nothing much happened, but Imavov just looked a little bit more clean and, home court advantage, so 10-9 to Imavov. I'm not going to do round to round breakdowns because I need sleep, I'm fucking tired, and I think it's better for another video when I really break it down if John Silva and Carlos Prates loses their next fights. But anyway, I feel like this is where the game plan went wrong for Bahario. He claimed he will win the fight in round 4 and 5 because he's a slow starter and he might be more well-rounded than Imavov. But in also saying that, This is what he said at the post-fight interview in the octagon.
I wanted to make this fight entertaining for the fans and for the UFC, so I tried to strike with one of the best strikers in the world, and that's what you guys saw, a great war. And
So it's a bit contradicting in terms of what his game plan was. So let's start with what I think Barao's plan was. I think he just wanted to wear out Imavov. Pretty obvious, right? But he wanted to wear him out with everything. Strikes, kicks and open stance to the body and head, and the outside calf kick. And also clinching up and also scaring him with the takedowns. Make Imavov defend everything for 3 rounds, get so tired physically and mentally, he doesn't have the cardio and stamina and reaction speed to defend and counter everything. And then Carl can get the finish because he can just play the feinting game and do whatever he wants. So why didn't Carl Barao get the finish then in round 4 and 5? And if anything, why did Carl Barao not even win round 4 and 5? I'm just assuming it because it really looked like he didn't win round 4 and 5. I don't know what the official judges were. But I think it was because he didn't utilize enough weapons. He didn't have that variety to make Imavov give a shit. There were times when Carl Barao closed the distance by feinting a knee. So he dashed in with a feint knee so he could strike. But Imavov, I think it was the start of the fight, like round 1, 2, and 3. He still had crazy sharp stamina. He still had fight IQ. Imavov looked fucking crazy. He soul swept. I don't know what the fuck you call it. He stole the freaking stats of Izzy. Now he's faster. And he just knew to throw hooks straight away. And the thing was, Carl Barao couldn't really utilize feinting knees by closing the distance. It didn't work because he never threw a knee that really scared Imavov. He never threw a knee that really hurt. So what's the point of Imavov giving a fuck? He can just not care and throw like a 3 to the body, a rear hook to the head, and then another lead hook to the head, which he did. And it worked all the time. So yeah, in the post-fight interview, he said he wanted to bang with Imavov for an entertaining fight, which really makes no sense. That's how you lose the fight, if I were to be Carl Barao. So why did he even say that? Unless he was like backtracking and kind of coping with the loss, I'm not too sure. So from round 2 onwards, Carl seemed to just rely on just striking. Just boxing and a bit of, flush kicks or something. Maybe he felt the power of Imavov and realized he has a lot more cardio and power than he thought. So none of the clinches and takedowns did anything. It shut them down completely in round 1 and 2. So that part of the game plan was completely shut down and he only had his striking left. Who knows? Carl could have won personally if he had worn down Imavov mentally a bit more. But that's just what it looked like to me upon viewing it for the first time. Imavov got stunned a few times in the fight. I remember those clean shots, and I feel like Carl would have followed it up and stunned him even more if the game plan followed suit. But Imavov kinda knew Carl's fighting pattern at that point, where it was just that very, very narrow fighting, striking variety. At that point, it was kind of predictable, so he never reached that deep waters and that desperation part when he got stunned and slightly rocked. So yeah, Carl might have had more fight IQ than Imavov, but when it boils down to the fight itself, and you are in the thick of it, you get hurt, most of your techniques are getting shut down, etc., you kinda know you're going to lose even before the fight has finished. I think Imavov is going to fight Chimaev, and I think BSD is going to fight someone above his ranking. I think they're going to give Ruffy another can just to give him another layup fight, get him comfortable, and make sure he's a high prospect that is unranked so he can go towards fighting a ranked opponent again. That's what I think. But yeah, I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked about Ruffy. It's just, I just did not know. I wasn't familiar with your game. I wasn't familiar with your shit ground game. Maybe it's good that they both lost now. So they have that humbling UFC loss experience to really get their skills refined for world-class fighting. Who knows? Who knows?